Jus Riffin. Tuesday night, 8:30 EST. Know where we be. Jus Riffin. Special guest and tech and talk. A musicology. Jus Riffin. Coming to you live at the same time. Here every week. Jus Riffin. Jump in the room. Let's chop it up. It really ain't that deep. Jus Riffin.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? J6, where you at, buddy? Want to say welcome, everybody, to the show. I'm one of your hosts, Hefner.
What up?
J6, go for it, bro.
Oh, what up, man? That's when you said, hey, J6, where are you? What's happening, Hef? What's happening, Boo? What's happening, MP Michael? Yeah, this is our first show, and it's exciting. We have our friend Doodlebug is going to be up. If anybody wants to ask him some questions at the end of the show, he's going to be talking a little bit about what he's been doing since a nickel bag of funk. I think funk's went up to a dime now, so I think it's a dime bag of funk now with inflation and everything, and or it might even be 15 cents a funk. But anyway, we're here with Jus Riffin, and we're just riffing. We're just going to kind of freestyle. We're going to ask some cool questions and talk about music, talk about technology and music, and hopefully some friends will stop in, and that's what we got going tonight.
That's absolutely right. So I want to say thank you also, you guys, for tuning in. And I'm trying to get Jus Riffin in the room right now, but they're having technical difficulties. And so might as well get into this thing here. So the first segment that we're going to have here, guys, is basically going to pick two songs. I put something up onto Twitter for pump or dump. So we're going to do either, if you like the song, you pump it. If you don't like the song, you dump it. Okay. So first song I'm going to play is, let me go back a little bit and get this ready here. And I hope you guys are ready. This is the first song. I picked two songs. So I picked, let me explain this a little bit better. I picked one song that's a traditional song, been out for, could be from the beginning of time till yesterday, right? So, or today rather. But so, and if you hear noise, you'll hear airplanes taking off. I'm actually at the airport, like on the runway. That's where the office is. It's pretty dope. So I get to see planes taking off and landing. That's not a flex, but that's just the truth. So you'll hear that noise. If you do, you'll know what it is. Back to what I was saying. So I picked two songs. One is a traditional song that's been released. It could have been whenever, and a song that's music that's related to an NFT. All right, y'all. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out and listening to that. So that was, I didn't want to play the whole thing. That's We Live in Brooklyn, Baby, and it's Roy Ayers. You can look that up if you want to, if you really dug the song. Really, really dope. Roy Ayers is, I want to say, was one of the artists that had just heavily sampled for hip hop. Since we're in the 50th anniversary of hip hop, most of the music that you're going to hear is been one way or the other sampled into a song that was made for hip hop, since that's what our topic of today is. So yeah, Roy Ayers, awesome guy. We played the vibraphone, and just was really, really, really dope. I think went back all the way back to like 1962 or so. When he first really started getting going. But he did a lot of things, a lot of soulful music, a lot of that funk vibe, that really good vibe. And most of the music was super solid. And hence why he got sampled by so many, producers and whatnot. So that was Roy Ayers. Thank you so much for listening, sticking around for that. The next song I want to get into is an NFT song that I came across. By no means is this any kind of shill. I don't own any of this artist here, and it's actually really cool. I think it's all AI, or with the help of AI. So the music and the art, and this artist by the name of OMG Kirby. I don't know if anybody's heard of him, but they did this project did about 3,000 unique pieces of music, lo-fi kind of music, so like real mellow, and every song is different. There's not one song. There's like a lot of songs. So they did use the help of AI to enhance what they were doing, which I think is really cool. So I'm going to play this, by the way. It's OMG Kirby space Genesis on OpenSea. All right, yeah. So OMG Kirby. Am I saying that right? OMG Kirby. Yep. That was Genesis 2027. That was the song. OMG Kirby Genesis 2027. If you wanted to go listen to that for yourself. And again, that's on OpenSea. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought this was really cool. Like, I love lo-fi. I'm actually working on a project myself that's lo-fi that's taken forever because I'm my own worst critic. But nonetheless, I will digress. Yeah. So what did you think, J6? You're a musician. What did you think about the first of all, let's go with the first song. Let's go with Roy Ayers. We Live in Brooklyn, Baby. What did you think?
Well, I don't live in Brooklyn, but I love Roy Ayers. You know, just the funny thing about that track is he didn't write it, but it still sounded like him. And when I think of Roy Ayers, it's just like a very his songs are just a vibe, and they're not chill hop, but they kind of in a way fit into the same lane. Like you could listen to chill hop and listen to Roy Ayers. I'm sure if you guys aren't familiar with Everybody Loves the Sun, am I coming through okay?
Yeah, you cut out a little bit, but you were saying Everybody Loves the Sunshine. Great song.
Everybody Loves the Sunshine, great song. I'm sure you guys turn my thing down a little bit. I'm getting a bit of feedback. There we go. But another cool vibe song, and he's got just a great sound, man. It's a chill, I could just go on down a rabbit hole of 6 Degrees of Roy Ayers, and like you were saying, with all the samples from him, that people use samples from his catalog, and artists that covered him too. But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool vibe, and it's not like a standard. To me, it's not like a standard formulaic pop song, which those are cool too. I love those, but I love when people are a little more free and flowing with their creativity too. So
yeah, I agree. Roy Ayers he was a master, dude, king of that. There's so, I mean, of that time, of that era, that genre. There was so many artists, Bob James. I mean, we can go on and on and on about musicians and whatnot that got sampled by hip hop. But yeah, those guys were on the forefront. And again, not commercial. Everybody Loves the Sunshine. I don't think they were making it for commercial at all. It just happened to get picked up, and people liked it because the tune was really good. It was catchy, and it was just a dope song. Everyone Loves the Sunshine. Roy Ayers. But yeah, I agree, man. This guy was super, super slick. All right, let's go to the last person I played, which is OMG Kirby. A little bit different. It's not a traditional, not in traditional music format. A little bit different with art. It being an NFT, you can purchase it on the blockchain, which is something that we're going to, continuously dive into on the show because music and NFTs and technology is super important. And we're trying to figure out where the next step is. Where does the musician turn? If they're turning to the right or to the left, what's there in front of them? Things that will help them along. But yeah, let's move on to OMG Kirby. So what do you think about OMG Kirby? What do you think about the musicality? There is help of enhancement of AI with the art and with the music, I believe, because it's generative. I never heard of generative music. I heard of generative art. So what is your take on generative music? Especially
there's a lot of cool things going on. Like you said, it's first off, it's chill hop. And this might come off sounding like a diss, or it might come off sounding the opposite of a diss. Like I'm just, I don't know, gassing up a genre, but it doesn't, I just mean it for what it is. I don't think I've ever heard a bad chill hop song. It's just like every time I hear a chill hop song, it just puts me in a cool mood. Like I can just chill out, put it on. I can do what I'm doing. If I'm working on some things on my computer, some more, mundane type of data type of things, or if I'm like trying to learn stuff, I can have chill hop playing. It's just a beautiful genre of music. And like I said, I've never heard bad chill hop. I haven't personally, at least. But anyway, you sent me these links. I got these links and I checked out the collection, and I love it. I think it's awesome, and I can listen to it, and I have listened to it. And the AI part of things, this is very interesting stuff, and the generative part of things. I've seen different projects utilizing these mechanics or utilities, however we want to call it. But like you buy a generative music piece that's maybe some variations of all these ingredients that are in the stew. And depending on what token number you get at the collection, you'll have this part of the recipe, and then you can do with it what you like. And sometimes they have real musicians actually play various parts in different keys that'll synchronize to to the BPM, to the beats per minute, and they'll all mix mashed, and it's very interesting. I think it's awesome, and there's room for all different types of ways to do collectibles and community-driven token projects, and this is one of them. And it's pretty cool. All the music sounds cool. And as far as the AI part of it, I think there's been a lot of talk of AI and music, and is it real music? Just like there was a lot of talk of people sampling music back in the day.
Yeah.
To me, I just wanted to add with the hip hop artists, sampling back in the day, it was very powerful. Like they were taking, maybe this was, I'm just saying, maybe it was a kid that was living and didn't have money for, didn't have the economical situation where he could take music lessons, buy a guitar, learn all this stuff, but they could take a piece of music and still make it their own. And I think that's a mantra of every blooming culture, and hip hop culture especially. Use what you got and make it happen. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Utilize what you got to get what you want. And totally, I mean, that was, to me, that's what the backbone of hip hop is about. It was about taking something and recreating from it, making it not so much to make it sound better, but to make something creative from it as a whole. So yeah, I mean, look, real musicians want to heckle or trample over sampling artists, people that are producers that sample, that's their base. I think that's BS. I mean, that's what I loved about hip hop, is that there were groups and producers taking songs that I actually really liked as well, like the real song, and then chopping it up and making their own beat from it. And then, when you got an MC rapping on it, that just makes everything more the better. It's just a blend of everything. Like our guest tonight, Doodlebug, he's from a legendary, iconic, Grammy award-winning group. And those guys, I've been listening to them all week again, just to kind of get refamiliarized with all the music. I mean, it's not like I forgot everything. It was like riding a bike listening to it. But going back and being a little bit older at this point in my life, I'm able to hear the music and what they're saying in a different light than when I was younger, and I was maybe not so focused on everything, but I was able to hear it as a whole. Those guys were super jazzy. It was very sample heavy, 1993. That was like a huge, like the golden era of hip hop, in my opinion. And it was very heavily sample based, and they were using really good samples. Now you could also, make a beat with a sample that, somebody else used, and your shit can just be garbage. It could be whack, but the real good producers were able to gravitate and elevate their skill with what they were creating. Producers like Diamond D, which was a perfect example. This guy was, actually the head of Digging in the Crates, the group Digging in the Crates. You had Fat Joe was in there. You had Showbiz and AG, Lord Finesse. I mean, it's just super, super dope, and he was one of the last producers that was able to really sample without, getting hit with sample clearance, which that's another topic, that we could talk about forever. So yeah, that's my two piece on sampling hip hop, sampling music rather, hip hop for hip hop. So, you got anything that you want to add there, J6, before we move to the next segment?
Well, I just wanted to say, and with the sampling thing, I think it's a cool assimilation to, once again, how AI is kind of being looked at today. And I think our views and our opinions and our acceptance of it will evolve and mature, just as it did with sampling, from records. People are going to warm up to the fact of, hey, these AI tools, they can supplement our creativity. They don't have to bastardize it or cheapen it. They can just add to it. It's all perspective, like token gating versus token access. It's all perspective.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's where the future is with music, and we're yet to figure that part out. I wanted to jump into the news. Again, you're going to hear airplanes flying back and forth because that's where I'm at. I'm at the airport, because lifting off over here on the Jus Riffin show. I want to say thank you to everybody in the audience that's listening. Golden is here, I see. Boo is here. Mike is here. MP in the building. Military police guarding us, making sure we're safe over here on this little podcast that we're doing. But wanted to jump into the news. Just one thing. I was looking at, I was like, oh man, this is boring and negative and depressing and whatnot. But I found something that I thought was really cool, man, because, it really is about giving back with this particular person that I'm going to talk about. Drake, he gifted a fan $50,000 at his Las Vegas concert. Okay. The really cool thing is like, this is the when you say like, don't be afraid to do stuff, right? Just don't be afraid. Like, if you're either trying to get noticed or whatever your situation is, you're putting yourself out there. And if you're going to do it in a good way and get 50K from it. So this young man was in the crowd and he was made a sign, and the sign was said, Drake, I spent my furniture money on your two shows, OVO for life, right? So this guy, Drake, sees the sign, and I don't know if it was like stop the show or whatever the deal was, but probably after the song, he recognized what was going on. I'm gonna play a little excerpt from the concert. I found a clip from a YouTube, not YouTube, from an Instagram channel. So I'm gonna play that clip right now so you guys can hear it for yourself. Or maybe not. Maybe not, guys. Sorry, let me go back.
All right. Usually I give out a bag, right? Look, but you got a sign that says, Drake, I spent my furniture money on your two shows over your life. Right? My manager is my DJ, right? Is he over there? He's right there. You know what, my man? Your furniture money, I'm gonna give you 50 bands tonight.
That's real. That's real. Like, that's Drake on stage. That's not AI. It's not some BS things, not some hologram, Drake giving away 50 grand. That's legit. I mean, can you imagine going to the concert? Yeah, you spent, even if you did or you didn't, whatever the deal is, you held up your sign and you got 50K. Not that you were expecting 50K. You were just expecting to get recognized, I'm sure. And what a surprise, like, what do you think about that? I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on Drake giving away 50K. I mean, he's given money away before. Artists do give away money, from time to time, but I think that's mighty noble of him because he makes so much money. What is 50K? That was like a life-changing moment for that young man, So what do you think there, Jay?
Well, 50K is definitely a life-changing moment for a lot of people. So I think that's awesome. It's funny. It reminds me of a friend of mine at work just a couple days ago showed me this other Drake thing that was in the, I guess, a video type of viral video thing of somebody threw a book at him, right? And did you see this thing? And then he reached his hand up the air, almost like a ninja, right? He just reached his hand up and grabbed the book and then said, and it was one of his, I guess it was his book, right, that he wrote. So he was like, okay, I'm going to sign this for you, but don't ever do that shit again. I thought it was pretty cool. He was basically kind of reprimanding the person for throwing something at the stage, but at the same time realized that it was just a fan that wanted him to sign the book that they got of him. And
sold it on eBay.
Super. I think that's awesome. It's amazing when you see people that are winning, succeeding in life, but they still hold on to their humility and they appreciate and have gratitude for people who support them. And I just want to add to that real quick too. Support them, support artists.
Yeah.
I saw on OpenSea, I'm just going to go off and just riff for a minute here. I saw on OpenSea, they have a little square, like little section on a little widget, if you will, to the left of their site where it says, support the artists, that 5% royalty thing. And even though I just used the word support, I think it's kind of like, I think what Drake did is more on point. Drake is an artist, and he was supporting his community. He gave a community member 50 grand. That was awesome. You know, why do we have to always look at the artists like they're poor and starving? Like, support them, like almost like it's a pledge, like it's some type of telethon or something. Like, why do we have to support an artist? Once again, it's perspective. Why can't the artist create and develop themselves from a perspective of supporting their community with great sounds, great vibes? If they're winning financially, spread it to the community.
Yeah.
And I think if we have that look as artists, I think it'll be reciprocal. But I don't think we need people to say, support us. Like, I don't need anybody to support me. You know, I've never been a starving artist. And you know, and like a lot of artists, I've just grinded and I've hustled. I'm no different or special than anybody else. I've never been a starving artist. I missed many meals, but I've never starved to death, because you got to work and you got to do good things. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry.
You gotta do what you feel, because it's real. Yeah, man, I agree. In the same sense as me as well, being an artist. I don't feel like I've ever starved, and I never was that, you know, oh, look at me, I'm a starving artist, you know, help me out here. I just was doing the music because, and still to today, I still make music, and I do it for the love of it. I don't do it to get fame. I never did it to get fame. The fame just kind of comes along with what you're doing. And I've always lived by the motto is, if you're doing the right thing, and you're being good to other peeps, then good things will come back to you, which is, I think everybody kind of knows this, you know, but I do live my life that way, because there's no need to do some dirty stuff. And the industry itself is about dirty stuff, you know, like you already know, like, you know, what people having to sell their publishing, you know, or you know, just not getting enough points on their record label or on their record sales, and not realizing what they're getting into when they're signing a record label or signing a record contract, recording contract, or whatever, a record deal. So yeah, man. Yeah, I think, you know, just do your thing, you know, don't be starving, be an artist. So yeah, so that was a great little segment, man. We hit a couple points, and we actually were on time, man, which is great. I didn't think we were going to be able to do this, but seems to be fun. I'm learning from Burn Dogler and from Golden on how to do this, you know. So yeah, let's move on. I want to we're going to go right now. We're going to talk about some throwback music. I'm going to play a song. This is actually an artist that we have coming up in a couple of weeks. He's going to be one of our guests. This is another legendary hip hop guy that is touted, really the original gangster MC, like real gangster rap, right? It wasn't really, I don't know about real gangster rap. It wasn't really about like, I'm going to shoot you and, you know, like running from the police type of too much, you know. It had a different vibe, you know, and it was 1984. And it was 1985 and 86 and so on and so forth. So we're going to go back a little bit. Okay. Now this guy, his name is the legendary Schoolie D, MC Schoolie D. Okay. From Philly as well. And this was a dude that just made some really crazy good songs. The sound is obviously it's dated. We're going to go back to 1985, I think, here with a song called PSK. What does it mean? And from what I remember, PSK. Now I could be wrong. When he gets on the show, I want to ask him though. But PSK, I thought stood for Parkside Killers, but they maybe masked it in the song and didn't really talk about Parkside Killers. He repped it as something else. But I do want to ask him, because that was the rumor that was spreading down here when I was young. And just getting my feet wet in hip hop and stuff. So I'm going to get into the song, and then we'll talk a little bit about Schoolie, and we'll let you know when he's going to be coming up and whatnot. So let me play this song for you guys. It's called PSK. What does that mean? and just legendary. So hope you guys dig it. I'm not gonna play the whole song. I don't want to bore everybody, but we'll play a snippet of it, like maybe about a minute or so. All right, so check it out. So MC Schoolie D, just legendary. You guys can go check him out on your own if you don't know who I'm talking about. And he's going to be our guest in a couple of weeks on the Jus Riffin show. PSK had songs like Gucci Time and Saturday Night and Parkside 5-2 and Mr. Big Dick, and just the list goes on. He just had so many really cool songs. Eventually, he ended up, doing this stuff on his own in the beginning, and then ended up getting signed to Jive Records when I want to say conglomerate started scooping up all the rap music, seeing that they could make money from it. Then they started giving out record deals to people, so he was actually there on a same label as Tribe Called Quest. And the history goes deep, with this dude. So I'm excited to talk to him as well. That's going to be a great conversation. This dude, though, Schoolie D, I want to go back. Like, he was touted as the original gangster rapper, but then they touted Ice-T as that original gangster rapper, right? Which rightfully so. Like, he West Coast, he was doing his thing, but Schoolie was way before Ice-T, and Ice-T is actually quoted in his autobiography, giving props back to Schoolie D, saying that Schoolie actually influenced him, and a song that was on his first album called 6 in the Morning. He's saying that Ice-T was saying that his vocal delivery was the same as Schoolie's. So much props to Ice-T for straightening out the situation there, and giving props back to Schoolie D. You're from Philly, J6. You know Schoolie personally. You've done some projects with him. Let's talk about it.
Well, a couple little tidbits first. I just wanted to comment on, there's two little trivia bits. First off, there's a show called Rug Roast on every Friday at, I think it's around 1 o'clock. I'm sorry to shill the show, but it's funny. They needed a little intro.
You could do that.
And I had Schoolie, Schoolie actually did the first incarnation of the show. Schoolie actually rapped on the verses to the show, on his iPhone real quick, and I threw it in there. They had since then changed the show around, but that's one piece of Schoolie trivia. And then another piece is, you mentioned a song called Mr. Big Dick that he put out. And I actually am working on a derivative project of that. It's called Mr. Slightly Smaller Than Average Size Dick, and it should be out anytime soon.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry. I was hoping to see a couple laugh emojis. Come on, people, work with me here.
Work with us here. We're starving artists. No, I'm just playing. That's awesome, man. I want to ask you, like, you did. Didn't you do some animated shorts, or did an animated series with Schoolie? Wasn't he involved with something? You were telling me about this. I wanted to hear more about this.
Well, Schoolie, a lot of people got reintroduced to Schoolie later on from the Aqua Teen Hunger Force. He did all the music and the intro to that. And he was cool enough to include me in on some of it as that went on. They had another episode. They had their second incarnation called Aqua, whatever. I was involved with the theme song. We produced that at my spot. And then we went out to LA. It was really cool. And we worked with a band called Mariachi El Bronx. And we all collaborated on that. And then also in the Aqua Teen movie, we recorded that at my crib, which is now defunct due to a house fire. But anyway, we recorded the movie theme there with actually a couple guys, another gentleman that I'm hoping to get on the show here in the upcoming weeks. His band is called The Fractals, but he has played and done a lot of hip hop projects himself. And then, to make a long story longer, me and Schoolie have worked on some various animation projects that never really saw the light. We got a little bit of a local buzz. It's kind of funny because we got a little bit, I don't want to say local because it was on the internet, but we got it wasn't viral or anything, but we had some love shown to it. And then at a certain point, we took it down because we were in negotiations to do some broader things with it, but the broader things never happened. So sadly, we took the stuff down. It was, and we never put it back up. But that's okay, though, you know. But it's fun stuff. But yeah, so a long story short, and we still we kind of work on stuff together. We do some music stuff. We play shows and stuff like that. It's fun. You know, a fun little fun fact. My girl, my life partner, she plays drums for Schoolie a lot when he performs. I'll play guitar
Oh, very
sometimes.
good.
So she actually. I don't know. It was cool. They did this gig opening up for another like an '80s group called Tears for Fears, and it was
What?
and it was cool because I got this picture of her playing drums, right? And right behind her drum kit is this killer big bass drum that says Tears for Fears. And I just love the picture, but I digress. I'm just kind of rambling. I'm just
I need to see that. I want to watch. I want to see some video of that. I think that's awesome. So they opened up for Tears for Fears. Is that what was going on?
For sure. In Philly, there's something called, and I think they canceled it this year, but Hall & Oates, actually. Burn knows Hall & Oates, I think. Burn and G-Man. But, you know, so they do a show, a festival once a year called the Hoagie Fest. It's called the Hoagie Fest, right? That's what they call, I guess, submarine sandwiches in Philly, and I guess some other places in the world. They call them hoagies, right? Okay. And they do it once a year, and it's a big festival. They have all kinds of acts from now, yesterday, and 450 years ago. I just broke my hip, actually, just mentioning. But anyway, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, so Schoolie will usually do that show. Although I think this year it was actually canceled. It's usually done around this time of year. I think, is it Labor Day, right? And it was canceled this year for various reasons.
Man, that sucks. Oh, probably because of, you know, the situation. If that's still a thing, I don't know. They're trying to make it a situation again. But you know, whatever to them. So all good. I want to give some shout outs to everybody that's in the crowd real quick before we move to the next segment, which is really cool, leading into our guest today as well. Burn Dogler, great show you guys have. I need to check it out more often. Boo as well. I need to check out your show more often. Always doing good stuff. Golden Line Trash is at Evie, if I'm saying that right. Joe Blow in the building. What's up, Joe Blow? And one of my homies, one of my old school homies, Tal Rick. He's a dope artist also. He is where's MP? Is MP gone? If MP's gone, no, he's here. So MP, Tall Rick is who I was talking about. You guys should follow each other. Tall Rick, MP's wife, and whatnot is in Shanghai. They're out there doing their thing, and he's always out there. So that's my buddy. So thank you everybody for tuning in so far and checking the show out. We're gonna get into this next segment, which is every week, you know, since this is our first week, we'll let you guys in on this, what's going on during this segment of the show. It's going to be a rotating segment, so we're always going to have something different. We might be giving away NFTs at some point. We might be giving away coffee from Golden. Golden will send you a mug of hot coffee. It'll come to your door hot. So yeah, we might be just doing a bunch of different stuff. We don't know yet. Quite honestly, we're just going to have a rotating segment and keep it fun and whatnot. But this segment for this week here, we're going to talk about NFTs and books and utilizing blockchain technology for that. Our guest today just came into the room, C Knowledge, aka Doodlebug from Digable Planets, or I should rephrase that, from the iconic Grammy award-winning group Digable Planets. He has a book that just released, and we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. So J6, I'm going to open the mic to you. You have something that you wanted to talk about or that you wanted to bring into this this segment here.
Oh yeah, it was just you know, it was interesting to me when I reached out to C. By the way, what up, C, man? So awesome to have you in the room. It's been a minute. We were talking about the book he has, and I remember, you know, him actually speaking on this before it actually came to fruition. But it's called the Epic of Heaven and Earth Association. And when I started thinking about it would be cool to talk about this stuff, I was thinking about how, you know, a lot of times we talk here in this space about blockchain technology. And it was really interesting to me that this book, I wanted to get it. And the only access I had to it, which I think is super cool, was I had to order the physical copy of it. Like I couldn't, go to Audible, or I couldn't go to Amazon, the Kindle stuff they do on there, or Scribed, or these platforms. I had to actually order the physical copy. And it made me thinking about how this technology of the blockchain and a trustless ledger can aid in distributing books like this. And I don't know, just like it would be cool if a book like this could come out, right? And then when you get this book, and I'm sure there's probably people doing this already, maybe it's authenticated with a digital version that is actually on the blockchain, stored on an interplanetary filing system, IPSF, FS, which is what we know about, which is incidentally Digable Planets and interplanetary filing system. Is kind of funny, right? But anyway, just this technology of how somebody could buy this book in the physical, but also have verification of owning the authentic digital version. And that digital version, for instance, how we could use the technology, let's say Digable Planets, and I don't want to keep talking about them before we bring C up, but oh, he's already up, cool. So C, if you want to chime in anytime. But I was thinking, like, if this book was authenticated on the blockchain, like people that bought this book, which we're going to talk about in a minute, which is pretty cool, they could have it in their wallet and on an app called in their wallet, and they can get Digable Planets, and it could that they have the book authenticated in their digital wallet, and now boom, they're bumped up to VIP. They get a meet and greet with a Doodlebug, butterfly, ladybug, a whole, and that's just one thing. I'm just freestyling here. Once again, I'm just riffing, but I just.
What's up, fam? What's up, fam?
See, man, what's happening, man?
What up, my dog? Yo, hey, I like them ideas you throwing out there, though. That's some good ideas too. I like that.
It's so cool, and I'm just riffing here because we were talking about blockchain and books, and how we could use books in the blockchain, and but we can move on, and we can incorporate this into the conversation, or we can just talk about Doodlebug.
Yeah, let's do it. You want to introduce him?
Okay, hold on.
I'll give you a little song here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Yo,
I can't hear you.
Digable Plant, you can't hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
I hear you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to introduce to you Grammy Award-winning artist, part of the group Digable Planets, makes tons of great, cool stuff as C Knowledge, the Doodlebug. I've had the pleasure of working with him over the years, doing a lot of cool stuff. Thanks, C, for including me in. Remember the Sinful Fest, C? Was that for Enemy? Cool stuff. Be happy with him tonight. He's one of the realest mofos you guys are ever gonna meet, and here he is, Doodlebug. Hope I did a good job at the intro.
Yeah, what's up, Bug?
That was a great intro, fam. That was a great intro.
How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm actually driving my son to his soccer practice right now.
That's good, man. Got to take the kids. Got to make sure you pay attention to the kids. They're the future, for sure.
No doubt.
Thank you so much for blessing us today and being on the show with us. And this is the our very first show. So thank you again for taking the time to be with us. We're going to dive into we're going to dive into. Absolutely.
I appreciate you opening up your platform to me and let me talk about this new book I got. I'm hoping my man PT Swope will get on here soon. He should be getting on soon.
Okay.
He and I put this together. You know what I'm saying? It took a long time, but we finally got this thing rolling now.
Yeah. Speaking of it being a long time, what was why did it take you a long time to get this? And when did you start the book?
Man, the idea was something I came up with back in like 1998, 99. I was trying to put together an idea for my band when I was first coming up with the idea for my band, the Cosmic Funk Orchestra, and I was trying to get all science fiction with it and shit like that. So I had a little story like Parliament Funkadelic, the mythology of the music and things like that. I was trying to build a mythos for the band and all that. So I started creating these characters, and each character's power was based on their musical styling. And then I
Dig.
moved down. I moved down to DC, and while I was down there, I connected with my man PT Swope, aka Thomas View, and he and I both had common interests in comic books, music, what I'm saying, black culture, all that type of shit, what I'm saying? So we connected, and me and him started building on these ideas, and the ideas that I had meshed with his imagination, and we started creating this book around like 1999, 2000, and it took a while. We had some good ideas, but then for some reason, I don't know, the project kind of died down for a minute. I started doing other things. Thomas started doing other things, and the project died for a couple of years. And the pandemic came around with nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? And just flipping through some Dropbox files, I found it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And he and I talked, and we were both like, we had been both flipping through it, and we realized that this was something that was too good to like just let it fall through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? So during the pandemic, nothing else to do. We sat down and began to etch together a plan to get this thing put in motion and actually do it instead of just start talking about it. We talked about it for like 20 years. You know what I'm saying? We finally,
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I'm so proud that we actually able to do it.
I'm glad that you guys finally did. I know that, sometimes you do start projects and then, just life happens, things happen, and then you put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
What was the purpose of the resurrection? What made you guys come back together, come back around and say, okay, let's finish this project up. Let's get it out to the people. Let's just get it kind of off our chest and let's move forward, with it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the catalyst was the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? It was idle hands. I was bored, nothing to do, sitting around the house, stuck, isolated, working on music. But then, you get bored doing the same thing over again. So I just started digging through my files, and I saw the comic book, and I was like, oh shit, and it reminded me of all the energy and the passion we had into it. And I was like, man, I don't have nothing to do. I might as well let's get back into this. Contacted my man PT Swope. He and I started building about it for about a year or so, and then we eventually last year we really got in motion and finished the book. Got in touch with Stacy Wilson. She helped us put together the finishing touches. She did our layout design for us, and then I hooked up with this independent printing company based out of Baltimore. W. Paul Coates owns it. It's called Black Classic Press. He's the father of Ta-Nehisi Coates of Black Panther fame, and so we use them to print up our books. And now
That's
I'm just proud to see it like in physical form and being
yeah.
able to hold it in my hand. Like after that idea it took so long to birth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, the feeling must have been, you must have been elated, finally it's done, and you got a physical something in your hand, it's the sense of accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, that's dope. Okay, so now you got this book out. You wrote it with PT Smoke. Um, I actually came across, I was doing some research, and so I came across this movie called Putney Swope. No relation, right?
No, that's exactly where he gets it from. That's exactly where he
Okay.
gets it from. That's why he's PT Swope the third Esquire. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He's like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
his he's the next generation.
Yeah, I like it.
Exactly.
I think it was super slick. So yeah, hopefully he comes up and gets up here with us. But I wanted to ask you, with this book now what do you do? Now it's out. What are you doing? Are you doing a book tour? Is there music to support it? I know the artwork is super dope. I don't have the lady's name offhand, but I know she's a scholar. She's a teacher.
Yeah. You talking about
But she does,
Kim Ledee. Kim Ledee. Yeah, she's the
yes, Kim Lee.
illustrator, and she's also a professor of art at University of South Carolina.
Yeah, I was reading on this. So, like, let's talk a little bit about that. Like, how'd you find her? Was she a school friend, and you guys got back together and did this? And then where does it all?
I mean, it was ironic because she and I both went to the same college. We both went to Howard University, but I didn't know her there. But my man PT Swope was a lawyer, and also he played bass for in a jazz band in DC. And what I'm saying, music lover and comic book lover. He knew her, and through his connections, through the art world, he met her, and they connected. And he told her about the story we had. She was very interested in it, and so we commissioned her to visualize the story that we wrote, and she did. But then when we did the re-edits, and when the pandemic came around, and we started re-energizing the whole project, we realized that we didn't have a full project. We were missing some panels. So then I recruited my main man, Guy Head the General, aka Pedro Diaz. You know what I'm saying? He's also one of the co-hosts and originators from the 2 Hour Radio Show. That I don't know if you know about that, but it's a pretty popular underground hip hop movement they started. He's also so I recruited him to finish up the final three panels, of, and then we got it done.
That's super dope, man. Then again, I wanted to just ask you: are you going to go out and support the book in the sense, like, are you going to do book signings? How are you? What do you are you going to make something like that happen? And are you going to maybe do some shows like where the music is based around that, all together, something different in this way, or even
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah. All that's in the works. All that's works in progress. We're gonna do. I'm gonna be selling the books at the Digable Planet merch show. So any Digable Planet show coming up, there should be some available at the table. And if you come to the show and get one and come up to me, I'll definitely sign it. And we have plans on doing some formal signings later on at different bookstores. Like in DC, we're planning out to do one at the Sankofa Bookshop in Washington DC with the owner. We haven't finalized a date yet for that one, but we're gonna definitely do that. And I'm also working on doing a mixtape where I have different artists and myself collaborate on songs, and the songs are all based on the comic books.
I think that's great, man. Are you
Yeah.
gonna continue on with it, or are you gonna leave it as a make? Is it
No,
a
no,
one?
my plan, man. We have like about 5 more issues waiting
Awesome.
to be put out. You know what I'm saying? We just got to put them together. You know what I'm saying? We're in the process of doing that now, and we're also in the process of doing a podcast that's going to be based on the comic book. Like it's in that world. It's I'll be hosting it along with my man PT Swope, and we're gonna have different guests. Like we go into different throughout. It's based. It's like a show reporting live from the seventh dimension, from this land, from Planet Supermarket, that's based in the comic book. Like we're actually we're talking like we're actually living in that world. You know what I'm saying? And the issues in this world, this real world we live in, we are they kind of intermesh with this imaginary world that we created. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about some of the same issues that we're dealing with now, but we talk about them in a way that's related to the comic book. You know what I'm saying? We have different characters from the comic book. Like our first episode is going to be a conversation between Mickey Mouse and Ron DeSantis. They're going to have a debate. This big debate they've been, they've been having this big fight, Disney and DeSantis. So we're going to have the real Mickey Mouse come on there. Of course, we doing me and my man PT Swope doing all the voiceovers on there, and we're playing all the different characters, and we're gonna have a debate show where DeSantis and Mickey Mouse fight it out, and over the issues that they fighting over. You know what I'm saying? And we have another episode coming up where we bring back Frederick Douglass, who is a member of the Council of Monks, which is the main political body of people that come together that command the Afronauts, who are the protagonists in my story. In the seventh dimension, there's 12 different planets, and each planet represents some type of something that based in black music, black culture. You know what I'm saying? So, and each planet elects a council member, a monk, that goes on and becomes a part of this 12 tribes council, and they delegate everything that goes on in the seventh dimension. And so Frederick Douglass is one of those monks, and we interview him. And we have a lot of different. We have one where we talk to Chat GPT, and you know what I'm saying. It's a lot of different episodes that we're planning, and hopefully we'll have that first podcast dropping within a month.
Well, that's awesome, man. I want to congratulate you on that. I think the book is cool. I'm happy that you're able to now share it with the world, and your music fans as well, and new people that are not knowing about it. I think it's really cool. The art is really dope, and the story is pretty cool. Lore for me is always a great thing. If there's a project that has a lore, I'm in. It's a good read for sure. Great story. J6.
Yeah, I mean, I love the part where you're talking about, how just it's kind of, you're kind of addressing like a stuff in our world through your comics and through comics that are to come too. And it's just, I think I like I dig that aspect of art, the way we can kind of, create our own universe. But that universe can reflect on what's happening in the real world. I'm interested
Exactly.
for sure, man. And I'm interested how like how you perceive a lot of the stuff that's going on today in the world, just with music. Like, what do you think? And not to not to trying to hate or on anything. Comics, and it's really I feel
That's lagging hard.
since this with today's music, maybe there's like something wrong, something going haywire in society with the music, and maybe that the music is not really a byproduct of our culture anymore. It's a byproduct of something more powerful. I'm sorry, that's maybe not even a good force, it might even be an evil force. Maybe I'm being a weirdo right now. I'm sorry, man, but I'm
No,
just
no, no. I feel everything you're saying, man. I mean, music is opinionated. We all got our own opinion on music, where it's at. Some people think it's in a great place. Some people think it's not. It all depends on where you at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because music is different frequencies in it, and we all resonate at different frequencies. You know what I'm saying? You hear something, it might not resonate with you in the frequency that you're on. You might hear something else, and you be like, "Yo," and that's like it's almost like they speaking directly to you. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really. I mean, I have my own personal opinions. I'm a human being. I'm not a robot, so I have opinions on certain things, but I don't really like to try to spout them too publicly because that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's just my opinion. Who gives a fuck about my opinion? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's certain things I like, certain things I don't like, but I want everybody to do good. You know what I'm saying? Just explore who they are. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all you can do is just be yourself. Try to make good music. Express who you are and your position in the society. You know what I'm saying? That's what I try to do. You know what I'm saying? And when you and most original and unique and genuine musicians, that's what they try to do. You know what I'm saying? It's about having fun, expressing yourself, and just do what you do. So I don't really have too many critiques about today's music. I mean, I have some favorites like Coast Contra, Rock. You know what I'm saying? There's a few cats that I really mess with. You know what I'm saying? I don't mess with everybody, but who does? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you on the in the sense of frequency that you're going to like it or you're not, and also wanted to touch on the fact that you talked about genuine, and yeah, man, I think since Digable, um, you know, that's the first time I heard of you, along with your crew members, and you guys stayed original since, man. Like even to today, what your book and the way your mindset is, and the way you think hasn't altered, whether from coming from fame, and uh, and that's awesome that you stayed original to who you are. So much respect and flowers to that for sure.
That's peace. That's peace. I mean, I had no choice.
Yeah, no,
I don't know how to be anybody but me. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's good. I mean, you could have been like, a dick to people and just been like, ah, nah, and been on your own dick,
That's true. That's true. But
And,
but you never know. But you and everybody, in somebody's story, I am the bad guy. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You can't please everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. That's right. I vibe with that. I wanted to jump a little bit too here into the music. This is such a long time ago, but I had a friend of mine. I haven't spoken to him in a while. His name is Danny Dominguez, and a dude named
Oh
Indeed.
man, that's from the label down in Florida.
Yeah, Counterflow. So
Counterflow.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's my man, Danny Dominguez.
Danny Dominguez and my boy Induce, DJ Induce and Maneuver. So those are like my dudes. Like, you know, I haven't seen Danny in a while, but and Induce. So Induce wanted to say what's up. But that project there you did actually with Sun Ra, right? With the Sun Ra
Yeah,
orchestra
yeah,
rather.
yeah, exactly. That's space.
How Yeah, how was that working? Because this was after Digable. So how was that working? Doing it, you know, on your own and then working with somebody else, but still keeping that kind of jazz, real good, soulful vibe about it. How did that come about?
It was a natural, organic flow. I mean, like my man PT spoke knew one of the horn players in Sunrise Orchestra at the time. His name was Yahya Abdul Majid. I think he passed away recently, if I'm not mistaken. But Yahya Abdul Majid was playing along with Marshall Allen and a couple of other cats. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I had a connection with my man Elliot Levin, who played along with them cats too. And through those connections, I was able to put together a session, and we brought them down to DC. I had a studio down in DC that I was working in, and they met me down there, and we just spent the whole day just talking, smoking, vibing, and then we came up with that song. And I wanted to do a tribute to Sun Ra. My man PT Swope, also a bass player, and he's into the jazz scene. He knew a lot of those cats. When he came to Philly one time before that and took me to Sun Ra's house in Germantown, and we walked around the house and looked at all the synthesizers that he created, organs, and all the little different tour posters and stuff like that. So
Man,
we had a nice connection. And then when they came down to DC and did the song, I wanted to do a tribute to Sun Ra. You know what I'm saying? And is that them right there over there? Yeah, I wanted to do a tribute to Sunrise, so we agreed to try to do my own version of "Space Is the Place." I had a break beat that I wanted to use, and then have them layer it with all they crazy intergalactic sounds. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, super dope, man. You mind if I play like a snippet of it?
Oh heck, boy, I would love that.
All right, let's play a little snippet of it. Let's let everybody hear what we're talking about. So this here's C Knowledge and Sun Ra Orchestra. I'm always going to mess that up. It's Space is the Place. So check this out, everybody. This is Jus Riffin. Yeah, I love it, man. That was Space is the Place. Doodlebug, aka C Knowledge, aka Doodlebug from Digable Planets. Dude, that was so dope. Like was that live? Was that bass was live, right?
No, everything was live.
Oh man, dude, so clean, bro. That was just
I mean, the only thing that wasn't live was the drum break that I used.
yeah, dude. I don't know, man. That song is old, done a long time ago, and still today, it's timeless. It just still sounds amazing.
That's
Love it.
what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit.
I think Swope is about to come on, so I just
Oh yeah, let's get him up here.
is there a way for you to turn his mic on? I think he's having an issue with his mic or something.
Where is he at?
I
Is,
just,
is he in here?
he's somewhere. I see him on there. I see him on the list.
What's the name?
Joe Blow.
Oh, Joe Blow. Yeah, let me get him up because I don't know that. I don't know. Let me. Joe Blow, I just invited you to speak. I saw a request, but I wasn't trying to bring people up because I didn't know who
Oh
it was.
because you it didn't say PT Swope or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. Joe Blow.
I know he always incognito, John.
I hear that. Oh, good, man. So I wanted to jump a little bit into the beginning of Digable Planets and like, when you guys started. I know you're originally from Philly. What got you to Brooklyn where you guys
what's up?
formed the
This is
group?
Swope.
What's up, dude?
Swope?
Hey, what's going on, folks?
All is good. He actually sounds like the dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was my grandfather.
I love it, dude. That's great,
Yeah,
man.
he got me in the advertising game and showed me, how to do certain things, how to make certain types of moves in the advertising game. So a lot of people say I sound like him, but yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely hear the resemblance, man, for sure, 100%. So real quick, let's talk a little bit about Digable if we can, just for a minute here, because you guys were like pretty influential in my life, as far as like just being involved with hip hop and making it, continuing on for me. You guys came with a vibe that was ridiculous. I'm sure you've heard this a million times. You guys were original. Still to today, I could say this. The music is friggin' timeless, man. I could listen to it over and over again. And those albums back then, if you fast forwarded through it, it was kind of whatever, didn't get much props, but I never fast forwarded through any of the songs, man. If anything, I was rewinding to play it back again. You know what I'm saying? So tell me a little bit about going from Philly to Brooklyn, how you guys kind of, molded together. How did this happen? This is like a miracle, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, my man Ishmael Butler came up with this concept for a group called Digable Planets, the insect theory, and I met him in Philadelphia at the Gallery Mall, walking around. We hooked up and we just started talking, had common interests, basketball, hip hop, you know what I'm saying? At the time I was in this group called the Dread Poet Society. And he was telling me about this group he was putting together. We played basketball together, hung out. His grandmother lived around the corner from my grandmother. And eventually he asked me, yo, would you be down? I know you in this other group called the DPS, but would you be down to help me put this demo together so we can try to shop this deal up in New York? And I was like, hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely down for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about collaborating, like-minded individuals. So we did. And one day he just called me and I'm skipping a lot of stuff because at the same time, I also knew Ladybug, you know what I'm saying, from the DC area. Um, Met her just hanging around the hip hop scene and stuff like that. And we got mad cool. And she would come up to Philly to visit. And eventually Ishmael, from our time of hanging out, Ishmael asked her to be down with the project too.
Yeah,
And
also, was she rapping or was she just like hanging
nah,
out?
she was just hanging out. She was just hanging out. She was my girlfriend at the time, to be honest with you.
I
And
bet.
and we was just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? And we sitting in my grandmother's house working on ideas for songs. And then she was always low key writing and like being real sneaky about it. And then we was like, what's up with that? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? And then finally one day she said one of her rhymes and they was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? And Ishmael, so Ishmael was decided to ask her if she would be down too. He thought it'd be dope. His idea was always to have two guys and a girl in the group. You know what I'm saying? So it was a perfect situation. Um, so he went up to New York and he through his internship at Sleeping Bag Records, which was an old classic record label in New York. He had a lot of connects through that. You know what I'm saying? So he went around and utilized those connects to the
That was
point where he was able
Brooklyn,
to
right?
get a meeting with a fledgling new label called Pendulum Records. And
Yeah.
Dennis Wheeler, may he rest in peace, was the A&R guy who really saw the vision and believed in what we was doing.
God bless.
And he pushed it really hard to Ruben Rodriguez, who was the label head. And they signed us. And man, my life changed after that. And then from there, we
Yeah.
had to start demoing up the project. We had to start taking the demo that we had and making it quality recording. They wanted to put us in a big studio in New York and start re-recording our demo. And so I had to move up to New York, and we used the advance money to get apartments in Brooklyn. And that's how it started. That was like 1991.
Yeah, bro. That was like the golden era. You guys were like in the right time. It just all came.
Man, it was a crazy time, man.
That's amazing because there were so many good groups during that time. It was like Leaders of the New School. You
I
guys,
know.
Law, Public Enemy. I mean, PE was a little bit before you guys, but it was all in that era that was all coming through there.
I know. Yeah,
Everybody
because
talks about-
it was funny because in that neighborhood I lived in Brooklyn,
yeah.
Fort Greene, it was just like so many down the street, J. Rue the Damager, Afu Rob down the street, Lord Jamar from Brand Nubians down the street,
Unreal.
Guru down the street. And that's why when we was doing our second album,
He
those
did a
people
song.
were the ones who we did collaborations with because they were like we used
Yeah.
to hang together in the hood, you know what I'm saying, all the
So
time.
dope. That's so dope, bro. Just to hear that because those were dudes that I was listening to. Groups that I was listening to, and just awesome that you guys were, just chill like that. It's fucking amazing, bro. No pun. But yeah, you did a song with Guru. Rest in peace to Guru. Now, how was that? Because he did the album Loungin', which was a jazzy, heavily jazz influence. You guys were heavily jazz influenced as well. How did that kind of come about? Did he approach you? Did you approach him? This was for the Blowout Comb album, correct?
Yeah. No, we approached him. We definitely approached. He was I mean, this guy was somebody that we looked up to. We would listen to him. Him and Premier. I mean, their albums was was like our soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
all we basically listened to. It was like one of the top songs albums that we listened to. So when we had the opportunity to have a budget, and they asked us, "Do y'all want to do some collabos?" and we was like, "Word." I said, "Oh shit!" It was like, "Oh man!" Like, yo, I started putting together the craziest dream list I could think of. And we didn't get everybody, but we did
yeah,
get Jazzy Joyce. We
yeah.
got
Yeah,
Janae, Renee from Janae is on there.
mhm.
Uh, Terry and Monica was a big R&B group. They on there. Um, we got Guru, J. Rue, Afu Ra.
Yeah.
We got Sarah from D Influence to sing on one of our songs. It was good times, man. Good times.
Classic album, dude. The first album was just ridiculous too, because first of all, I want to know about your demo, right? What was on your demo? What songs were on there that you redid? Was Rebirth of Slick on there? Like what was on that demo, and how many songs were there?
The demo probably had like about 4 or 5 songs. You know what I'm saying? Most of them didn't make the album. Actually, I mean, "Cool Like
Oh,
That" was a song that we made later on. It wasn't on the demo. You know what I'm saying?
I want
Songs
to hear.
like Nickel Bags, Nickel Bags of Funk,
Uh,
Spoon Units. These were all original songs. You know what I'm saying? That were part of the song that we actually was planning to make our first single was a song called "Brown Baby Funk," but we couldn't get the sample cleared. You know what I'm saying? And so we
So
had to
we
go
had
back
to
to
go
the
back to
drawing
the
board.
drawing
We
board. We
scrapped the
scrapped the
song.
song.
And
yeah,
then
And then
everybody was like,
everybody
everybody at the
at
label
the
was like,
label was like,
we like Rebirth the Slick. We was like, oh, word, all right. So I wasn't mad at that. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? At the time, I
yeah.
didn't think that song was gonna be the song that catapulted us.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that. Like, what the hell were you guys thinking when that? Because I know as a fan, when I heard that first, that you hear that iconic bass line, but I was like, and then you guys in the video, because back then we used to watch videos when you guys actually made when musicians actually made videos that made sense. You guys were in the jazz club, and it was smoky and black and white a little bit there, and it was just so dope. And that song just hit me like powerful. I was like, who the fuck are these guys? So how did you guys? How did the song portray to you? I mean, what was your feeling when you guys were making that song? That's friggin' classic 100 times over.
I mean, it was just a natural extension of what we already was doing, the kind of people we hung with. I mean, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of those people in the crowd was people who are our friends, you know what I'm saying? Some of them were models and people they hired, but a lot of them was our friends, like King Britt, Josh, Wink was up in there, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of people, a lot of our friends was there, you know what I'm saying? And it was just, that was what we did, like hang out in little clubs, little dives where you can sit there and you can smoke your weed and not get harassed, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And listen to some cool music that you might not hear on the radio. I mean, that's what we was doing anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, so dope. That era was so dope. Now, you guys were you just all out doing shows? I unfortunately never got a chance to see you guys live, but because I was down south in Miami. I don't know if you guys ever even made it down here, but
Where do you
I
live
never
now?
I'm still in Miami, but I was in LA for like
Okay.
25 years. But
Okay, okay.
I'm back home now, back on the East Coast. But yeah, so like what happened after like reaching? Like do you guys start touring to promote that album and then to blow out Calm? Like what was going on between the two albums?
Yeah, a lot of touring and appearances. I mean, the success of the first single gave us a platform that allowed us to be on so many different shows. I mean, we was on almost every late night show you could think of.
So
And
good.
the thing that really set it off for us was when Rosie Perez came to New York and had a meeting with us in the Pendulum Record offices, along with her man Wendell. Wendell and Rosie came and they sat down and was like, "Yo, the Wayans brothers are very interested. Keenan's very interested in having you guys. They're fans of the music." And we were just sitting there. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, because this is like, and Living Color is like the show. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is
Yeah.
like, all we watched. You know what I'm saying? And so when they came and asked us to be on the show, it was super exciting. I think that after that appearance, it really the song really took off. You know what I'm saying? And we were everywhere, and we were asked to go on tour with Sade, which was an honor. And then we did a South American tour with James Brown and Marcus Miller.
Wow, bro.
And Guru was with us too. Guru and Donald Byrd was with us they was doing the Jasmine Taz. We all was there together.
Yeah, that's what it was. Jasmine Taz. I said lounging. I think that was the name of the song, but Jasmine Taz. That was
Yeah. That's the project. Yep.
yeah, for sure, 100%, man. But that's just so awesome. Now, what song? I'm gonna let J6 ask some questions too, because I know he has some questions for you. But what song on the first album is your favorite, and why?
And that's hard to ask. I mean, they all like my babies. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was a part of helping them. I mean, ish put them together. I added my little sauce to it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I like them all. It's hard to say. Uh,
It's a tough one, but just pick one. Pick one. And did you guys ever fight? Did you guys ever fight? Not fight like, but did you ever fight over like music? Like, oh no, this song is dope. Oh no, that song is dope. We should do this. Did you ever have those kind of confrontations in that group when you were
I
making the
mean, of
music?
course, as artists, you're gonna have some friction, but not it wasn't. But when we were recording the music, everything was pretty much in good motion. We had our disagreements, but it never turned into nothing like that was. I think once the money and the fame and all that came, that's when it started getting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But when creating the first albums, it was just love and passion, um, and a willingness to do whatever it takes to get on BET Rap City or Yo MTV Raps, or you know what I'm saying. So we would do anything, you know what I'm saying. So that love and all that passion, all that fueled us to just roll with it, you know what I'm saying? And we were newbies, you know what I'm saying? We were just babies to it, you know what I'm saying? The
True. Very
label hired two veterans, Mike Mangini and damn, I can't think of his other name. But Shane Faber, my fault. Shane Faber and Mike Mangini did production for Tribe Called Quest and the Native Tongue crew. And we had an opportunity to work with them. They wanted us to be with somebody that was a veteran producer, since we, so I never, or Ish or Mecca had ever been in like a major studio. It was all basement studios, you know what I'm saying? Little hookups in somebody's room or something like that, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So
What
we
was
didn't really
that?
know what we was doing. So we had to have them come in here and help us, and everything rolled and was pretty smooth.
What was that like jumping into a huge studio like that where there's like, an SSL board and like, Neve preamps and like you're just like in heaven there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Compared
mean, we had the
to
equipment. It wasn't really the first album was recorded at Mike Mangini and Shane Faber's studio, which was in Bergen, New Jersey, and it was like above this dentist office. It was like in this office space, right off Bergen Avenue. We would take the dollar bus in Brooklyn to what do we go? Madison Square Garden, and then from there we would take another bus that would take you to New Jersey,
you
and we
said it
would get off
was
in
Bergen
Bergen.
County? Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was Bergen County you said or Bergen.
Bergen, New Jersey. And we would that's where their studio was, above this dentist office, and we would go there, and they had all that equipment you were talking about. It just wasn't like in a big gigantic building or nothing like that. It was in an office space, but it was still dope. To us, that was the best studio we ever been in, you know what I'm saying?
So sick.
You know what I'm saying? It was dope.
I know there's a song that, and I don't know the name. Might be like What Cool Breezes Do, but you can hear the SMPTE code in the background a little bit before the beat really jumps in. I get nostalgic thinking about all that stuff because it's just part of being in the studio and whatnot. But man, dude, I don't know. Thanks for being on the show. Classic. Part of an amazing group, that definitely was heavily influenced on me. So I'm gonna lay off the mic for a minute. I'm gonna let J6 jump in here. I know he had some questions, and we should talk to PT Swoop as well, since he was here the whole time.
No doubt.
So I don't want to leave him out. Go ahead, J6 is on you, my man.
Oh, alrighty. Well, it's interesting just to me. I don't have a bunch of questions. I mean, it's all just vibes, and they're pretty awesome tonight. So, but I
mean, because you know everything, Cook. Because for real, like in this book, I remember me and you would sit there in the studio late night, smoking doobies, working on music, and I would tell you about the book. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember we was trying to get you to help us with stuff. You know what I'm saying? And because you had a lot of good ideas on the internet type stuff and the internet marketing. I remember that. You know what I'm saying? And so you know about half of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta give a definite shout out to Schoolie D. You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for Schoolie D, I wouldn't even know Cookie Bennett. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Schoolie, bro.
It's funny, see, because the Cookie, you know me as Cook or Cookie, but that's my real fake name. That's my real fake name. My fake name is J6. So, you know, but I have a real fake name. But
I understand. I have mad nom de plumes, fam. It's all good.
You know,
gotta keep them
with
guessing.
the nom de plumes.
Exactly.
C just hit it with the nom de plumes. I love it, man. But you know, I actually did have a question, and it's just when he was talking about, and you were talking about hitting the studio, and you know, you guys were so young, and that must have been an amazing feeling of accomplishment. I mean, you know, all of a sudden telling your mom like, "Hey, we're going to be on the Grammy Awards." You know, it's like this kind of stuff. It just blows my mind. And touring and supporting the music, this amazing music made, touring it as a young 20-something-year-old. Even you were even in your teens when you started the band. But what I want to ask you is, I mean, in my opinion, you're still killing it. You're still in your prime, and I want to know, like, you guys are together and you're touring now, like, and what's the different? Like, what does it feel like now? Is it like, oh, I got to go on stage, you know, let me get my Geritol? I'm just kidding about that, but I'm saying, or is it like, yo, I'm hitting this. I'm hitting this like, and I feel fresh as when I was 20, or I even feel fresher because I know more. You know, like, how does it feel to be out there doing it? And I'm asking you really for my own personal selfishness, because you know, see, I've been around the block maybe 3 or 4 times, and I still have the fire, man. I want to rock the world. And you know, maybe me and you will be doing it on the same stage again sometime soon. Who knows? But how do you
we know,
feel?
you know we are, man. I
Right
feel
on.
good, man. I mean, I feel just like I did when I was first starting. I mean, that passion is still in my belly. That fire is still in there, and it's still burning strong. You know what I'm saying? I have different priorities now than I had when I was in my 20s, but still, that passion is just it's evolved into a 50-odd-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? Now doing it. You know what I'm saying? But still loving it. You know what I'm saying? When I get on stage, it feels like, especially when you look in the crowd and you see like all different types of people, man. Like you see teenagers, you see little kids, you see 70-year-olds. It's like it's crazy to me to sometimes to see so many different generations of people coming in that appreciate the music and the vibe that we created. You know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful. I mean, I want to do this till I can't do it no more, man. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, bro.
I love it. I just want to add to that. You know, see, you know, as well as a lot of people in the room know that my square gig, so to speak, my day gig that at night is actually at a gentleman's club, and I DJ there, and I still bump.
Oh, I know. I've been here a couple of times with you.
Shh. I'm just kidding. But anyway, but I still bump Nickel Bag of Funk. I still bump Rebirth of Swift. Slick. I'm sorry.
Slick.
Rebirth of Slick. And then I still bump, you know, where I'm from. Like I bust out like right next to the Kendrick, right next to the, you know, ASAP Ferg, right next to the, you know, Nicki Minaj or whatever the current flavor is, Drake. You know, the Digable Planets still have a sound that even if people in the room, so a lot of them know it, but even if they don't know it, they're with it. You know, like boom, boom, boom. You know, the girls are dancing sexy on that pole to the Digable Planets. You know, I'm just saying. But
I got to go to the club to see this.
I'm just saying you're still relevant, man, and you know, and I think that comes from passion. If you have passion in life, you will always be relevant, and you will always have something to contribute to society, and you can always make the world a little better if you approach it and attack it with passion and love.
Well said, bro.
Yeah. All right, man. I mean, we could talk forever, dude. I don't want to like hang up the phone here.
But before we go though, I need my man Putney Swope to explain a little bit of this book, man.
Thank you. That would be great. PT, the mic is all yours, my man.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. What we're doing with this book is there's a sister planet that called the greatest supermarket on Earth. Um, it's in about stage 4 of degradation, and right now on the planet Earth is a sister planet. We're about stage 2.5. So what we did, we visited this planet and we checked out some of the things that were going on there, and hopefully as a warning, it's a way of looking and seeing our planet. Um, as a cautionary tale. So this is the intention of doing this really, as all art is, to teach us, to look at our environment and see it and look at it differently. So that it was the original intention. Um, was there something specific that you wanted to talk about?
Man, I just wanted you. I love when you eloquate about the book, man. You be cracking me up, man. I love it, man. Swoop.
Yeah.
I
I
just want
forgot
people
about the
to
sunrise,
check it
man.
out. You know what I'm saying? Go to our website, epic/heavenearth.com, and check it out. It's a different. It's not your average graphic novel. It's
Yeah,
different. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I would also encourage you to look at the end notes.
Yeah, no doubt.
This is a very important part of what we think is, well, for everyone here, a subversive strategy. Where if by reading the notes, I think you will find another level of we hope another level of knowledge, things that we may know, and things that we may not have actually connected. Um, and I think that would be that's one thing to sort of point out as an extra bonus is certain encoded information in the end notes. Um, as well, see, we definitely want to talk about the debate.
Yeah. So I
We,
was telling
we,
them earlier before you got on about
yeah,
the podcast, and our
right,
first episode is going to be the conversation between Mickey Mouse and DeSantis arguing over the "Don't
right,
Say Gay" law and all that other
right, and how we were
the banning
actually
of
able.
books and things like that. You know what I'm saying? How we relate it
True.
to our book.
True, and how we actually use the power of microcosmic funk fission to denigrate Ron DeSantis. You can see him now falling in the polls. You can see him falling. And his relevance is becoming less relevant as a result of certain tactics that we employ. We intend to turn our attention to the Orange Man at some point in the future, but it will not be through a direct frontal assault. It will be more through indirect, but still employing the microcosmic funk fission technology.
Exactly. And if you want more information, go to our website, subscribe, and so you can get a notification when our podcast will be dropping. Um,
I
yeah,
put I pinned up to the top. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I pinned up to the top.
yeah, I see that. That's
Um,
what's up. Appreciate that.
yeah, Heaven and Earth comic, so people can go find it and if they want to learn more, which they should. It's a great book, and the artwork is awesome too. And I think you guys have a good message behind it. And plus, it's coming from a good place. It's definitely a genuine place that it's coming from. So definitely go check that out.
Word up. And if you in the area, check us out, Digable Planets. We're gonna be on tour starting this weekend. The first stop is in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're gonna be rocking at the Hopscotch Music Festival. And then Saturday, we're going to be at the 930 Club in Washington, D.C. And then we head to Sayreville, New Jersey for the Starland Ballroom September 12th. We're going to be in Philly at the Union Transfer. WXPN presents Digable Planets. We're going to be rocking all the hits from our first album, Reaching, celebrating the 30th anniversary of that. That's June 16th at Union Transfer. It's going to be a bunch of other cities. If you want specific tour dates and merch and all that, go to our website, www.officialdigableplanets.com. And I appreciate y'all for having us, man.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we could sit seriously. I want to have a part 2 because I really want to dive deep into the music the next time if we get a chance to chat with you again. But yeah, bless so much, man, for coming up to the mic, and I'm happy that you were able to find some time to do this with us. So from the bottom of my heart, man, and everyone that's listening, you guys got a good treat today. Legendary dude in the house, C Knowledge, aka Doodlebug, from the legendary award-winning, Grammy award-winning group, Digable Planets. If you're unfamiliar with them, definitely just go check them out. Digable Planets. You can't lose. You just can't lose. You know, it's just a win all around. And make sure you check out the book as well. Book is very, very important. This is something that they been working on for a long time. It's called The Epic of Heaven and Heaven Association. So make sure you check that out. I wanted to know, are you down to stick around if anybody has any questions?
Yeah, if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, I'd like to open it up. J6, I know you wanted to jump in there, so I'll put my mic on mute for a minute here.
I just wanted to say real quick, once again, to thank everybody that's here. This is our first show tonight, me and Hef, and it's a lot of fun experimenting and exploring this new terrain. And C and PT, thank you guys so much for coming on. And I just wanted to say, I wanted to make a prediction that Heaven and Earth Comics will somehow hybrid into the trustless ledger of the interplanetary filing system of the future. And I'm making that prediction now. And in the future, only time will tell, but it'll all be good things and good vibes.
Yeah, that's right. I like that. Put good vibes into the universe. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Respect.
Yeah, that sounds like the
Appreciate that.
interplanetary part sounds like our thing. You know.
Exactly.
Right on.
Yeah. All right. So does anybody want to come up and ask PT Swope and Doodlebug, aka C Knowledge, some questions pertaining to the book, pertaining to Digable Planets, music, I don't know, life, snacks. I don't know anything. Yeah. By the way, are you guys going to make it down south to South Florida at all? Is there a market for you?
I want to so bad. We haven't been to Miami in a long time.
Yeah.
We definitely got to get there.
I'll talk to one of the dudes, Maneuvers. He does a really dope night. He's down here called the Love Below, and it's like they actually go around. They do LA, they do New York. So he might know some people that could chat with your people and maybe put it together.
Right,
I think
that's
what's up.
Yeah, because do that.
It's definitely a dope, you know. Yeah, I mean, you guys doing this thing, and you know, people down here definitely I know would be ecstatic to see that show. See you guys live for sure, 100%. Come on, questions. Let's go, questions. Let's go. People are being shy. They don't want to get on the microphone. All to the
All right,
good.
well, that's what's up. That's what's up. So I appreciate you having us, man. We'll talk again, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you for having us on. We greatly appreciate it, and we look forward to watching your show begin to grow and growing together.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, dude. All right, I'm gonna play us out with a song from Digable Planets. It's called "What Cool Breezes Do." And thank you, everybody. I know you guys can be anywhere else on Earth, but thank you for joining us tonight with these two extinguished gentlemen, Digable Planets' very own Doodlebug, aka C Knowledge, and PT Swope, aka.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Jus Riffin. Tuesday night, 8:30 EST. Know where we be. Jus Riffin. Special guest and tech and talk. A musicology. Jus Riffin. Coming to you live at the same time. Here every week. Jus Riffin. Jump in the room. Let's chop it up. It really ain't that deep. Jus Riffin.